Talladega Superspeedway lives up to its name. Of all the closed-circuit motorsport facilities in the world where sanctioned auto races are held, it is the fastest. Constructed by the France family 10 years after Daytona International Speedway, Talladega was built slightly longer at 2.66 miles with steeper 33-degree banking, which guaranteed record-setting speeds. The pole speed for NASCAR's first race in 1969, a stunning 199.466 miles per hour, almost 30 miles per hour faster than Indy cars were then lapping at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Rule changes in 1987 meant that Bill Elliott's 212.809 mile per hour lap will likely stand forever as the qualifying record at Talladega and for NASCAR. Talladega is still the fastest track on the schedule. It holds the record for the fastest 500-mile stock car race at 188.354 miles per hour, Mark Martin's winning speed in May of '97. It produces some of the most exciting door-to-door racing every year. Talladega Superspeedway puts on 5 separate race events each year as host to the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series, Camping World Trucks, and the ARCA Series. And tonight, it's the Lonestar Racing Truck Series, the Minute in the Middle 94. Coming up next on HBR TV. Race details for tonight. Of course, it is the Lonestar Racing Minute in the Middle 94 from Talladega Super Speedway. 94 laps around this big 2.66 mile tri-oval. 1 fast repair. 2 extra sets of tires over the wall. Currently 90% humidity, 78-degree ambient temperature, very minimal wind, clear skies, track temperature 82 degrees. Again, handling not a premium here at Talladega Superspeedway, but on old tires, maybe, just maybe, it could come into play. We shall see. Practice just about wrapped up here from the Speedway. Let's go down trackside and see where everybody is lined out as far as practice times are concerned. Get rid of that echo for you guys. Top on the board, 421 machine of Britt Osborne, 5202. Then Bill Mulfield to 5204. Couch, 5226. Grettenberger, a 35. Sisler, a 35. Fordham, Rose, Arn, Ryder, Millett. That's the balance of the top 10. Again, these are likely all draft laps. You're not going to see these kinds of times in the qualifying session coming up here in just over a minute. Single truck times definitely going to be a lot slower. These guys feel like they're crawling around this place when they're not in the draft. See Vince Short just finishing up his Q run in practice, a 56.28. We'll see if that's any better. A couple of chatters already in the stream chat. Never Guess 865 says, let's go Jeff. Cody Anderson, hey Steve. Hi Cody, how are you? Not 100% sure I'm getting the Facebook stream chat tonight. Facebook has changed up their RTMP settings once again, and it's wreaking havoc on my end. Luckily, able to get the stream up and running. It's not 100%. Oh, there we go. Ray Bailey. Every evening, everyone. All right, so he's on the Facebook side. Ray, good evening to you, too. Thanks for watching. Practice clock strikes 0. Session is complete. See who hits the speedway first. Looks like Kevin Haas. Could be. First one in the pit lane. First one rolling. Very familiar paint scheme on that number 3 Goodwrench Service Plus machine. Could be a Dale Earnhardt throwback or even a Mike Skinner throwback. Either way, it looks sharp. Only critique, roof numbers in the wrong spot. At least the spotters can see it. It's sharp, though. Got the Realtree camo on the side skirts. Raymond Bailey in the stream chat says he's 22. At first I thought, okay, cool. Good to know how old you are. But he's actually in the race, folks. He's driving the number 22 truck tonight. Keep an eye on Ray Bailey. Kevin Haas out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Got a 5-minute session here at LSR. 2 laps to get it done. We're already a minute and 45 in, and we haven't seen anybody else. We're not going to get to everybody just at the length of lap around this place. It does take some time. Try to get to some of those guys pretty quickly here. We'll bounce through. Try to get an idea of who is going to end up where. Right now, though, no official time on the leaderboard. Kevin may be the first to clock in here as he crosses the stripe here, exiting the tri-oval. Again, start-finish not in the middle of the tri-oval like we're used to seeing at Daytona. Here at Talladega, it is past the tri-oval, right near pit exit. First lap of 56.84. Quickly down to the third, now fourth position. Seth Fordham top time for now, a 56.167. Chad Martin times in third, Lloyd Ryder fourth, Ken Couch fourth. Now Brian Rose goes P1, a 56.16. Rose taking the low lane through. Shortest distance around Talladega Superspeedway. If you can do it right and keep the left side right on that yellow line. Don't scrub too much speed off corner exit. We'll see if he drifts up a little bit. We've seen some guys do that. Stays on the bottom. Meanwhile, Chris Goins goes P1 at 56.14. 200's quicker than the 89. See if Rose, as he crosses the stripe, does he pick up? Second quick still, 56.248, does not pick up on his second lap. Lap 1 for Goins of 56.14. We'll see if he can improve. Across the stripe, Chris Goins. Slower. So it seems right now that first lap is the quickest. Mike Fahey wraps up his time. He's 8th fast. Zach Millett, second lap of 56.19. He's 5th quick. Most of these guys have gotten their second lap complete. Matt Sisler, though, don't know if he's going to get this one done. We got 40 seconds remaining. He's just off turn number 2. He's going to have to hustle. It might be close. We'll stick with Matt Sisler here and see what kind of time he can clock in. Vincent Short goes P2, matches the time of Chris Goins, but not by much. Officially a 56.14 for Goins and Short alike. Shorts does round up to a 56.15 as Sisler crosses the stripe just in time. Not sure what lap he got there for that. But with that, let's go to our starting grid. On the pole for the Minnick in the middle 94, it is Chris Goins with a hot time 56.142 seconds. Vincent Short missed it by that much. It was 3/1000ths of a second slower. Starting outside front row is the 15 of Vince Short. Row number 2, Brian Rose. The number 89 track bar medium machine, he starts third. Seth Fordham in the 4 spot. Number 20. Row number 3, Matthew Daniels in the 5. Zach Millett rolls off in the 6th position. 7th is Chad Martin. 8th, Kevin Hayes. Mike Fahey with Lonestar Racing, the number 19, he'll start in the 9th position. Dan Worthington from Flex Motorsports, he'll start in the 10th spot. Drew Blaze, Lonestar Racing entry number 1, been ripping it up here as of late. He's going to start 11th. 12th goes to Kevin Grettenberger. 13th starting position, Bobby Hall Jr., the number 94. Sean Roberts starts 14th in the number 66. Lloyd Ryder out of UK and I, he starts 15th. Joe Tucker, Lonestar Racing entry, he starts 16th. Jonathan Arn, another Flex Motorsports machine, the number 43, rolls off from the 17th position. The 10 of Justin Johnson, he starts 18th. Bill Mulfeld and Matt Minnick, 19th and 20th. Raymond Bailey, Ken Couch, 21st and 22nd. Jeffrey Simpson in the 42 starts 23rd. Matt Sisler's 24th. BJ Cox, the 05, he starts 25th. 26th starting position, Cody Anderson, the number 17. Jesse Redding, 27th. Thomas Hall, 28th. Michael Cole, 29th. Bill Martin and Britt Osborne will round out the balance of your field here tonight. Not 100% sure, though. I believe Jesse Redding, the 27 machine, may be sitting this one out as an admin. We'll find out here shortly as we get to the green flag in just a little bit. Field rolls into turn number 1 behind the iRacing pace car. 1 formation lap, 1 caution lap before we get under the green flag. 94 laps the race distance here tonight. Definitely want to make mention that tonight's feature winner, presented by In the Draft. Appreciate them coming on board and being the sponsor of the race winner. Field formed up 2 by 2 behind the iRacing pace car. Of course, pace car lights are off. That means green flag this time by. Hopefully Barney's facing the right direction this time. We've seen a couple of screenshots of Barney. He's got to go home. I think he's had too many facing the crowd and not the cars on track, but hopefully he's got things squared away here before we go to the green flag. Pace car down pit lane. Chris Goins and Vincent Short on the front row. Slowly creeping through the tri-oval. Again, start-finish line not in the middle of the tri-oval as you would usually see. But the green flag waves, field in the restart zone. We're underway from Talladega. Turn 2, lap 1, top 8, maybe top 9, starting to already get away from some of the other trucks in the field. Others bailing out already to the inside of that yellow line, trying to work their way to the rear of the field. Strategy at play across the board. Still out front, Chris Goins, a nose ahead. Brian Rose tucked in behind the 6. A deja vu here, but lap 1 just about complete. Field works through the tri-oval. Vincent Short looks like he might be dropping into the center. Nope, not quite. The 20. Seth Fordham tucks in behind with the 15. You got Brian Rose still behind the 6 of Goins. Zach Millett tucked in behind the 20. Looks like the 5 of Matthew Daniels on the low side. He's in that 3rd row. Three truck of Kevin Hayes, though, he's working his way up towards the front. He's up a spot already. It was 2 for just a moment. The 3 truck on the high side there, right behind Zach Millett, the 315 machine. But out front, it's still Chris Goins, Vincent Short, Brian Rose, Seth Fordham. Vincent Short, pretty respectable super speedway driver, always one to contend with in big tracks. Works the draft quite well, knows how to get speed out of the truck in single truck runs. If you can keep the fenders on that thing and be around for the finish, he's likely to be a contender. Chris Goins checks up a bit. Not sure if the outside line got a better run or better organization. It's one thing you'll hear us talk about a lot here tonight is getting organized in the top line or the bottom line, depending on where they're at. Also, truck numbers, as far as how many of them, it's going to come into play and make a difference as well. Bottom side, obviously the short way around the speedway, but if you get real organized, that means single file, nose to tail. You get 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks together doing just the same, being very mindful to not push the pusher. It's a whole nother conversation. They can really build some speed on the outside and just kind of freight train that low lane, depending on if they've got a organized group on the bottom. Same is true if you reverse the roles, though. If there's 3 or 4 trucks to the high side and 10 to the bottom, they're going to continue and go much faster and get past those guys. Right now, outside line seems to be working best. Five laps in here from Talladega Super Speedway. Vincent Short leads, but the 20 drops low, crosses across the nose of the 6 of Chris Goins with a run. This is going to put Zach Millett and Vincent Short together. These drivers very familiar with one another. They are on the same race team. How their boys racing. He's also got Brian Rose there to the inside of Millett. No, Fordham wanted to get out front, take that top spot, but putting 2 teammates together on a super speedway, we don't know if that's the best move or not. Very early on here in this race, though, again, 94 laps. Essentially half the distance of a cup race, 250 miles. But running speeds of above 190 miles an hour, in some cases pushing 200 miles an hour. If we stay under green, those 94 laps are going to click off in a hurry. Meanwhile, Zach Millett now out in front. He's taken the top spot from Fordham. Now it's Millett, Fordham, Goins, Short, Rose, at least for this 30-second stretch, if that. Very easy to go from the top dog to dead last here at Talladega Super Speedway, or at least get shuffled out down through the middle or even the high side without any help. It's like throwing out an anchor and all of a sudden you're just going to the back. You gotta have drafting help here at the Super Speedways. You see it coming into play right now. These guys are running laps significantly faster than qualifying. We're talking 4 full seconds faster than single truck runs in qualifying. 3 of Kevin Hayes there behind Vincent Short, looking awfully racy. Maybe looking for a route around. You get the 13 to Joe Tucker. That truck looks way better than it did last week. Beaten and battered, brightly colored and shiny here tonight. Zach Millett still leads the way off turn number 4. Second is Fordham Short, trying to push his way up into that P2 spot. Everybody minding their P's and Q's. I know we say that often here in the LSR Truck Series. Guys are doing well with it, not being too aggressive too early. Again, a long race, 250 miles. No sense in really pushing the issue. Right now, these guys are really just trying to feel out who's going to help them with what, who's got a good truck, who knows the draft. And really, that's what it's going to come down to. Guys with experience on super speedways, that's who you want to kind of pin yourself to, whether it's back bumper, front bumper, it doesn't seem to matter. Guys that really know how to get it done on the big tracks, that's what you're looking for. Other battles through the field. Matt Sisler in the 12th spot for now. Again, a big gaggle of trucks back here. They're all tightly packed. These positions are less important right now because they change multiple times every lap. Sisler, again, remaining in the 12th spot, but he is up 12 positions. He started 24th. And just for the record, we're looking through the running order here, and I don't see anybody that has sat this one out as an admin. So any admins that we have are live in the race car. So we have a full field of 31 trucks here tonight. Speaking of big movers, Ken Couch, another one of those. He started 22nd. The 08 truck running in the 10th position. Again, only 9 laps in. About to put lap 10 up on the board. Couch running that red and yellow paint scheme there, the 08 machine. And again, fast mover, Joe Tucker in the 13. Tucker's up 11 spots since the drop of the green flag. Top 10 trucks starting to look a little antsy out front. We don't run stage races here in the LSR Truck Series, but it almost seems like we're getting close to one. Guys are starting to get a little bit more impatient, starting to move around, starting to change different lanes, see what's going to work best. Zach Millett, though, still out in front of this field. Everybody's still together. $11 laps in here. What do you say we crank it up? Let's go to it. 12 laps in. Zach Millett still your leader. Vincent Short has worked his way back to the front of that outside, that top lane. Seth Fordham hanging tough in the third spot. Now in the second spot, noses out in front of Vincent Short again. We're going to see that quite a bit here tonight. These guys are so tightly packed here in the draft. Second, third, fourth, it's all relative. It's kind of the same spot. At the end of the race, different story. Of course, it's the first one to break that plane of the start-finish line. It's going to be awarded with that spot. So it really doesn't make a difference. You get the idea where everybody's running, kind of based on that. If you see a guy across the stripe here, and the ticker at the top says P2, and then the next lap it's P6, he's still right there. Take a look here at Michael Cole. Michael's the 30th place truck, running at the tail end of the lead lap. Britt Osborne 31st, a lap down. These three for that matter, are in a draft together, but you see we talked about being organized. These three are losing or have lost the main pack considerably. They are back in their own little world. They could certainly use a caution to get caught up. But you see this dancing back and forth. Michael Cole there, he's about a truck length behind the car in front. That is PJ Cox, and then Bill Martin as well. You really need to stay tight to the tailgate of the truck in front of you. Britt Osborne is in that mix, though. He is, again, a lap down, but he is just ahead of Michael Cole. The closer these three get together, and the better they take that line together as far as staying, top or bottom. If they all stay in the low line nicely, they'll be in good shape. They can run some pretty solid laps, but they're really just not getting it done right now. Their last lap time, it is faster than qualifying, but it was like a 54.08 was the best lap between the three of them. Leaders are running 52.50s. Very interesting. So these guys are going to hope to get a caution before they go a lap down, because that's very likely a possibility here, as the leaders are going to close down that gap here soon. Again, they just crossed the start-finish line. Zach Millett through the tri-oval with the rest of the field. Things are getting antsy back there as well. They're going to close the gap very quickly to these drivers. Any minute, they're going to close into those three trucks, put them laps down. Things are getting busy, though. 3 wide here for third, fourth, fifth. At least those are the rows. Millett still with the lead off turn number 2 down the backstretch. He's going to get Brian Rose to the tailgate. He's going to give a big push, I expect. Chris Goins there in the middle lane. Vincent Short and the 3 truck of Kevin Hayes, they are up in the extreme top lane. 3 wide from the third row back. Eddie Rose in the stream chat. HBR boys getting it done tonight. Well, too early to tell. Certainly that is the hope out of Eddie Rose, to see those boys, someone in that group, take a checkered flag. Things are looking pretty solid so far. Again, 17 laps in here from Talladega Super Speedway. Zach Millett out front. Rose second. Chris Goins third. Fordham fourth. Ken Couch fifth, as quickly Goins takes back the second position. Big push from the 20 of Fordham down the backstretch into turn number 3. Goins might nose out in front. He does through the middle of 3 and 4. Great super speedway action here from Talladega. Clean and green since the initial green flag came out. Lap 17 about complete. 18 to go up on the board. They go in order. At the stripe, Chris Goins is going to lead that one. Chris Goins officially your new leader. He clears Zach Millett, drops down in front, put the eye-lending number 6, P1, as they exit turn number 4. Highline coming with a bit of a run, though. Not enough. Millett and Rose tuck in behind Chris Goins as Goins' boat goes back to P1 where he started. Again, he was the pole sitter here tonight. Started out front, lost a couple of spots initially, but didn't lose too many. He's worked the draft to his advantage, now back out in front ahead of Zach Millett, Brian Rose, and Seth Fordham. Goins switches lanes, crosses up to block the run on the high side, but the bottom is much more organized. I would have stayed down low. Millett's going to retake the top spot. Chris Goins, Fordham, and Joe Tucker, even the 94 machine. Bobby Hall Jr. coming into the picture as well. Dan Worthington, he's down low in the 113 truck. Those guys definitely known for their super speedway prowess. As Brian Rose noses out in front. Great racing here at the front of the field. Zach Millett running in the second spot. He has been our in-race reporter over some races. Usually I would take an opportunity to go to the driver of that S4 guy. But at Talladega, I just don't think I'm going to bother him at this point. The distraction is too great. You've got to keep your head on a swivel at this place as you see the leaders starting to close in on some lap traffic up ahead. This could spell disaster. We've seen this happen so many times in so many different series, but they all get a good job here. So far, going high here to stay out of the way of the leaders. Nicely done to this point. The delta between the leaders and the lap trucks, pretty significant. We talked about it. It was about 2 full seconds. They're doing a great job up top to let the leaders go through without incident. Bravo. Bravo. Nicely done for those 3 trucks. To talk about them, I think it's PJ Cox, Michael Cole, and Britt Osborne specifically. Lost the draft early, and again, unfortunately for them, they've gone down a lap. I think Britt Osborne had lost one earlier on as well, but they did a great job staying out of the way, not causing problems for these leaders. It is so difficult when you approach trucks at that much speed differential to get through. If they're going to be difficult about it, they can certainly make it a problem. It is to their discretion what lane they take, and they all decided to go high. They did a great job at it. Meanwhile, Brian Rose, Chris Goins still at the front of the field. Really impressed so far with this race. These drivers, how they've managed to stay and keep clean here for 22 or so laps. About quarter distance, just about at least, from Talladega Superspeedway. Brian Rose out in front. Chris Goins and Zach Millett trading back and forth in the second position. Seth Fordham and Ken Couch into the mix as well. They're trading spots back and forth. With that, I'm going to take a step aside, go side by side here, give us a minute, get a break out of the way. Again, we are quarter distance. You won't miss a minute of the action. Because again, we're going to go HBR TV side by side. Stay with us, everybody.
The great thing about youth sports is the opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden the sport.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
The great thing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Talladega Super Speedway. 27 laps in. LSR Truck Series, the Minnick in the middle, 94. Brian Rose, Chris Goins again still out front. Rose to the bottom, the 6 of Goins up top. They're going back and forth here, trading the top spot. Zach Millett to the back bumper, the tailgate, per se, of Brian Rose. And you've got Seth Fordham there doing the same there with Chris Goins. Ken Couch, Joe Tucker, that is 5th and 6th. Then you've got Bobby Hall Jr. and the 5 of Matt Daniels. Very impressive so far. 28 laps go on the board. We've been green from the initial start. No caution flags to speak of. And at Talladega with 31 trucks, I just don't know really what else to say. It's just a feat of amazement. Zach Millett looking a little racy behind Brian Rose. Again, no stages in this race. It's straight up 94 laps. Wouldn't it be something if we could make it all the way to the finish under the green flag? If anybody can do it, it's the LSR group here. Not putting my money on it, though. It is Talladega, and everybody's minding their P's and Q's here early on. There's nothing to win here except for maybe some bragging rights to be out front at this stage of the race. Couple trucks down below the yellow line off turn number 4. No advantage gained, no penalty to worry about. You know, I said early on that I wasn't going to bother Zach Millett as our in-race reporter, but I might just have to do it. And the action hasn't really begun to pick up. I'd like to maybe try and get to him before pit stops. Well, let's give it a shot here. Let's bring Millett into the broadcast booth. Zach Millett, I know it's mid-race, but this is Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Steve. How's it going, man?
It's going well. How are things out there at Talladega?
They're pretty tight, not going to lie.
I know pit stops are going to be coming relatively soon. When do you expect to see pit lane?
We were just talking about it. It might be in the next 2 laps, so it's going to get very interesting very quickly here.
All right. Well, with that, I'll dump you back to the channel. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, buddy.
Don't want to interrupt the team communications. He is in a private chat with the other teammates in this series. Pit stops likely to come in the next 2-3 laps under the green flag. That is going to change things significantly. They have to get on and off a pit lane in a timely fashion, which is true anywhere you go, but they also have to do it with a partner because, again, we saw even 3 trucks together in a draft. They were not able to stave off the leaders from passing them. They're about 2 seconds a lap slower than they would have been in this larger pack. But you see Millett and Rose, they get a nose out in front here. Opens up the bottom. Chris Goins looks like he's going to try and fill that void. He does. A lot of these guys are going to try and single out, get to the bottom side, because, again, green flag stops are coming here relatively soon. Brian Rose, Zach Millett, Chris Goins, Ken Couch, Joe Tucker. That's the top 5. And drivers are hitting pit lane here. Can they all make it through without trouble? Some drivers locking up. Millett, great entry to pit lane, though. He's going to take the lead as they get down pit road. As long as there's no pit road speeding penalties, this is going to be an advantage for the 315. Chad Martin, Kevin Hayes, Thomas Hall, they all stay out on the racetrack. Fuel only for these drivers. Again, handling not a premium. Millett down and away. Brian Rose down and away. Brian Rose, though, through that cycle, he gets out ahead of Zach Millett. Joe Tucker coming into frame here. This is going to be another drafting partner. Jonathan Arnn just up ahead in the 43. Oh, trouble there with Brian Rose and Zach Millett. Rose gets sideways the exit of the tri-oval, saves the truck. Crazy moment there for the 89 and the 315. Again, both teammate drivers. That was for the top spot as they have cycled back out front. It is Rose, Millett, Tucker, Couch, and Goins. That is your top 5 running order. Chris Goins, though, a little bit further back. These 4 are going to need to draft up to those 4 ahead. There is some lap traffic mixed into that first 4. Again, Jonathan Arnn, I believe last I looked, he's running now in the 27th position. The Petty colors, the number 43 machine, that's 4th in line. Again, not a lead lap truck, but certainly plays a factor in the draft nonetheless. Ken Couch, Chris Goins, Sean Roberts, Matt Daniels. Couch slides up the track. Don't know if there was contact off the nose of the 6. Maybe they're just trying to change up lanes, go high, trying to catch up to this top 4 group. Do have to say, though, the HBR drivers, at least that of Millett and Rose, did a great job of pairing back up on pit exit. Gotta wonder who fell on the sword there, because it seemed that Zach Millett had a much better stop as far as getting into and out of pit road. Rose ends up now currently with the top spot. You see Tucker there in 3rd. This is now the battle further back for the 5th position. Chris Goins in the number 6 has it. Ken Couch is 4th. Behind Goins is the 66 of Sean Roberts. Technically in the 7th position, you got the 5 machine of Daniels. He's down low. Once again, very impressed with this race so far. We've gone green the whole way. Looks like we've cycled through our first round of green flag pit stops. Oh, trouble! Chris Goins gets turned into Jonathan Arnn off the nose of Sean Roberts. We are under caution here. First time of the day. Off turn number 4, a multi-truck crash. Chris Goins gets another piece of Seth Fordham for good measure. Oh, we got other drivers. Cody Anderson across the nose of Matt Sisler. Bobby Hall Jr. might have got a small part in it as well. Trouble here. Lap 37 at Talladega. Well, Saw it somewhat live here at HBR TV. Let's go back to the instant replay, see exactly what put us under the yellow flag. A little late into it, backing it up again. So the 6 of Chris Goins just to the outside of Ken Couch. Sean Roberts gets to the left rear of Goins in a bad spot. I know he did not mean to wreck him at all, but man, a hard impact for Jonathan Arnn. Roberts gets into the 43 as well. But yeah, Sean Roberts gets to the back bumper of Chris Goins, off center to the left, mid-corner. It is almost impossible to do that without wrecking the guy that you make contact with. Again, it definitely does not look intentional. It's super speedway racing. You're trying to give a bit of a bump. You don't want to give any of a lift to these guys. You see Goins trying to avoid the 66 again, but that's going to put him into the 20. So Fordham goes around. Tough break. Some drivers taking the opportunity to hit pit road. Dan Worthington, you've got the 3. Drew Blaze also down into his pit box. Blaze blinking out there for a moment. Little connection issue for the 1. Big connection issue for the 1. Bobby Hall Jr. down and away. Looks like Blaze did take tires here. Interesting strategy. Some of these drivers early on had about 14-second pit stops, but opted not to take tires. At least from what I saw, Brian Rose did not catch the end of his stop. He could have taken tires. Again, 2 sets over the wall for tonight's race. 3 sets in total. Of course, you start with 1. But through all that, Brian Rose maintains the top spot. Zach Millett, second. Joe Tucker, Ken Couch, Matt Daniels. That's the top 5. Going to group everybody back up here under this yellow flag. Lap 47 will be our halfway point. We are at lap 38. 39 about to go on the board the next time by. Pace car lights are still on, so no green flag to come as of yet. With that, we're going to step aside, get some break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Talladega Super Speedway, the LSR Truck Series. Minnick in the middle, 94. Brian Rose with the lead, Zach Millett second, Joe Tucker, Ken Couch, Matt Daniels, your top 5. Pace car lights are out. We'll go back to the green flag here, lap 40. Field working through turns 3 and 4. Here, Brian Rose already shutting the truck off under caution to save some fuel. Pace car is down.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air, back underway from Talladega Super Speedway. Seth Fordham down pit lane unexpectedly. Don't know if there was some contact made or not, but nonetheless, he is hot and heavy down pit road. Is he going to hit his box here, or is he going to stay out? It almost seemed like he had to take that route down pit lane as an exit strategy, but he's going to take the opportunity to take tires. Not sure what's going on here. I don't know. I mean, I could say it's a bad strategy right now, but it might come back and he could win this thing, but he's most certainly going to go a lap down with no drafting help, which means he's going to go a second lap down if he's not careful. Field through turns 3 and 4 right now at speed. New second place truck, Joe Tucker in the 13. He's to the tailgate of Brian Rose. Matt Daniels there in the 3rd spot, the bottom lane. Up top, it's Zach Millett. Ken Couch to his back door. Bill Mulfeld has gone into the books as well at P6. Then it's Chad Martin, Kevin Grettenberger, Bobby Hall Jr., Kevin Haas, or I still can't figure out how to say it. If anybody knows in the stream chat, Kevin Haas, Kevin Haas. Haas like Haas CNC machines, or Haas like it looks like it's pronounced. I'm not sure. If anybody's got it, let me know. Phoebe Talana cheering on Bobby Hall Jr. in the stream chat. Phoebe, thanks for watching. Couch gets shuffled to the outside for a moment, or at least just taking a look to the outside. Didn't have any drafting help. Got the 95 of Chad Martin there into the works as well. Looking back from the Brian Rose machine. Currently out front, Joe Tucker all over the tailgate of the number 89. Now we ride on board with Joe Tucker in the 2nd spot. Now 3rd is Zach Millett. Nose is out ahead. You hear Joe Tucker lift every little bit there, middle of the corner. Many cases, you don't need to be wide open throttle to stay to the back bumper of the truck in front of you. You can lift just a little bit. And we don't want to get too close and start bumping guys mid-corner, at least this early on in the race as we approach the halfway point. A couple more laps. Ken Couch looking to the high side again. No drafting help for the 08 machine. Zach Millett continues to lead that pack to the outside. I gotta believe at this point in the race, everybody out there is just running around again at this point, trying to settle into a good run. See, there's a bit of a distance between all the trucks up there in that top 10, top 15 even. While we have the opportunity, let's try and go through the field. Currently out front, it is the 89 of Brian Rose. He's got the 13 of Joe Tucker to the tailgate, awfully tight to the tailgate. Brian Rose started in the third position. He's led a lot of this race here, at least the first half of it. Joe Tucker in the second spot again, closed down nice and tight to the tailgate of that machine. You get Joe Tucker out in front here, he's going to be a contender for sure. Zach Millett runs in the third spot, and he's up 3 positions on the day. Started 6th, led some laps early. Matt Daniels to his inside, currently marked as now the third place truck, just by a nose. Daniels started in position number 5 today. Ken Couch currently 5th, up 17 spots. Great run so far out of the 08. Bill Mulfeld now, he's up into the 5th position. Mulfeld with the Garzer Law entry, the number 911. Bobby Hall Jr., the number 94 out of Flex Motorsports from Athens, PA, currently runs in the 7th position. He's up 6 spots. Kevin Grettenberger, the number 57 butt kicker machine. He's up 4 positions, started 12th today. Kevin Hayes in the 3 truck. Runs in the 9th position. Dan Worthington, the number 113. Worthington, a Flex Motorsports entry out of Rome, Pennsylvania. Chris Fahey, not sure if it helps, but we had a local family named Haas with no E. They pronounced it Haas. Got a friend with last name Haas as well. Pronounce it the same way. Lloyd Ryder, the number 25 truck, clearly out of the UK. Oh, we got a caution on the speedway. Big trouble off turn number 4. The field blowing apart. Multi-truck incident off turn number 4. Lloyd Ryder involved in it, as are others. Jeff Simpson, Bill Martin, Cody Anderson. Let's take a look, see if we can get an idea what triggered this one. Happened up ahead. And it looks like Brian Rose gets turned. All right, so this appears to be middle of 3 and 4. Joe Tucker drops down below. Brian Rose slides up just a bit. Tucker doesn't lift. Gets to that left row. We saw this early on with the Chris Goins incident. You get down to the left side of the truck while you're trying to push mid-corner. This is exactly what is going to happen. Brian Rose comes around. Drivers trying to split apart. Others checking up. See Mike Fahey and Cody Anderson slipping up, just trying to avoid the main incident. Vincent Short involved in it as well. Big hit for the 42 and the 95. Michael Cole comes into it. He's going to get a piece. Well, there you have it. Some trucks on pit lane here. Daniels, Millett, Hayes, Kevin Hayes. Yeah, we'll go with that. Mike Fahey, Dan Worthington, Blaze, Brian Rose, of course, Grettenberger, Bobby Hall Jr., Bill Mulfeld, Matt Sisler. Multiple trucks on pit lane here as we are past halfway. This would put them in a situation where they can go one more stop to make it to the end. Joe Tucker, through that incident, he is going to now be the leader. Carson Conway in the stream chat. Yes, there is one fast repair tonight. I don't know if anyone's used them early enough or not, but with that one for certain, some driver is going to have to utilize it. Go to Brian Rose here. He was the first truck involved in that. Again, spinning off the nose of Joe Tucker. Truck looks nice and clean, so he is working without a safety net here for the balance of the race. We're going to step aside here, get another break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Okay, they called it off. 1 to go when you get to the line.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Talladega Super Speedway. Getting ready to go back to the green flag. Pace car lights were off, but for some reason they have called off the green. I find it very interesting. This is technically NIS rules. But we've had a delay in the restart. Not sure exactly what has triggered it at this point. But we will go one more lap under the caution flag. Joe Tucker, your leader. Millett, Daniels, Bobby Hall Jr., Bill Mulfeld, the top 5. Restart's going to come for Joe Tucker with Zach Millett to his outside. Row 2, Daniels and Hall Jr. 3, Redding and Mulfeld. 4, Haas and Grettenberger. Row 5, Chad Martin, Mike Fahey. Let's see what Fahey's got for a paint scheme tonight. Usually he's got something good on that thing. Lots of red chrome on that number 19. Carson Conway in the stream chat. Why did they delay the green? I have no answer for you, Carson. Unfortunately, I do not know. I wasn't 100% sure that they could delay the green, but nevertheless, getting ready to go back to the green flag here. Pace car down, headed towards pit lane. We're going to go back to the green flag here right now. Again, field needs to work through the tri-oval into the Geico restart zone before everybody can fire. Joe Tucker is going to hold them down into that restart zone.
Green flag.
Green flag waves are back underway. Lap 54 goes up on the board. 41 remain. Bobby Hall Jr. way to the outside off turn number 2. Does not get a piece of the wall. Another truck down low. Dropping back. Through all that, Brian Rose has made himself back into the 8th position, even though in being involved in that caution, was able to use the fast repair. Joe Tucker still out front. Matt Daniels looking to the outside. Not a whole lot of help, but he had a big run he had to take advantage of. Bobby Hall Jr. thought to go with the 5. No room to do it. Daniels might get freight trained in the center here as the 3 goes to the outside with Brian Rose. Mike Fahey also in tow. Dan Worthington, he was thinking about sticking with those guys, maybe going to the middle. We'll see where he ends up. Goes to the bottom. Gets across the front. It looked like a Drew Blaze. Now Blaze drops to the bottom. Tucker still out front. Millett, Bobby Hall Jr., the top 3. The 3 of Kevin Hayes drops back to the end of this pack. Doesn't like how things were going up in the top side. He goes to the bottom behind Drew Blaze. Caution on the speedway once again.
Give me your taps there, bud.
Possibly Bill Martin involved in this one. Yes, indeed. The 24 truck in trouble near pit entry. Let's take a look at it. See what happened here with Bill Martin. Ooh, get a little late. Let's back it up here. See exactly what initiated that contact. Slow it down here just a bit. Wow, that's something you don't see every day. Truck getting loose on the high side at Talladega by himself. Rear end comes around, gets a piece of the 15 of Vincent Short. Short, hard impact to the wall. Does he come across and catch the 26? He does not. Carson Conway in the stream chat once again. Poor Vince taking a beating tonight. Yeah, it's been a rough night for the 15, that is for sure. Had a good start to the event, was up front, outside front row. It's all been downhill since then. Meanwhile, Joe Tucker out in front. Zach Millett, Matt Daniels, Bobby Hall Jr., Brian Rose. That's your top five. Pit stops underway once again. Still don't think this is enough to get them to the end. It could be with the caution flag involved. We'll see. Chad Martin stays out on the racetrack. Just about everybody else, though, down pit lane. Fuel only for Tucker. 13's down and away. Millett also down and away. Don't think he took tires either. 6.9 seconds in the box. Joe Tucker, 6.07. Still loses out to the 315, but again, Chad Martin stayed on the racetrack. His last pit stop was about 6 laps ago, so I see why he would stay out. Brian Rose is going to cycle into the second position. Again, fuel only for the 89. Seems that just about everyone only on fuel. Matt Daniels, Chris Goins, 15 seconds, 16 second stops, possibly fuel related or repair related. Hard to say at this point. We are at Talladega after all. $57 laps on the board. Stay with us, folks. We're going to take another break, get it out of the way. We'll be back after this.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Talladega Super Speedway, the Lonestar Racing Truck Series. Minnick in the middle, 94. Working caution once again here, lap 58. Going to be 59 when we go back to the green flag. Chad Martin, your current leader, stayed out during this cycle of pit stops. Of course, he had pit about 6 laps prior. Tires not likely to play a big strategy difference between everybody else in the field at this stage. It's just going to be based on fuel. Everybody that did take the opportunity did top off the tanks and nothing more. And Chad Martin is dropping to the back. I'm not sure if he's got a connection issue because he is just gone. Chad Martin has disappeared from the face of the earth as far as the session is concerned. That's going to yield the position to Zach Millett, at least as far as the bottom is concerned. Martin is gone. Green is in the air. 2 HBR trucks to the front of the field. Ryan Rose and Zach Millett cross the stripe. Bobby Hall Jr., Joe Tucker, and Dan Worthington there in the top 5. Bill Molfeld is 6th. Kevin Grettenberger, Drew Blaze, Mike Fahey, Kevin Hayes. That is your top 10 to work in turns 1 and 2. Brian Rose nose is out in front in the top lane. Zach Millett to the bottom. Drew Blaze has worked his way up into the top 5 as he's back to the tailgate now with Joe Tucker in the high side. A little more update from the pit stops. Chris Goins. Caution, wait. No, we do have another yellow.
Say again. Caution for.
Thomas Hall, possibly. Yes, multiple drivers involved. Britt Osborne, Thomas Hall. Bill Martin gets through. So Jonathan Arnn, Matt Sisler also involved, Jesse Redding. Well, let's get a look at it, see what happened. Looks like the 43 Arnn across the nose of the 26. Catches the right rear. Big impact for Jesse Redding. Through the air, Ricky Craven style. Lands on top of Jonathan Arnn. Well, it was nice and clean early on. We get past halfway and things are starting to get a little crazy. Lap 61 on the board under the caution flag once again. Just to kind of recap, we were talking about Chris Goins during the pit stop. It was a 16 or so second stop for Chris Goins. A little uncharacteristic for a fuel and tire stop. A little bit longer than we would have expected. But he did go into the stream chat himself and said, hey, I got distracted and I didn't pull out of the box in time. So it happens to the best of us, Chris. Don't worry. I've done the same thing, ironically, in a number 6 truck. Got Big Blue, Kevin Blue. That sucks for Vince. Yeah, it's been a tough night for the 15, but it is what it is. It's Talladega. Anything can happen. Carson Conway. Is this Martinsville? No, it's the bigger of the two. Got a couple of regulars here in the stream chat. Again, guys, feel free to partake in the comments. If you got questions, concerns, broadcaster didn't unmute the mic, whatever the case may be, feel free to chime in. Where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, I don't care what it is. Just keep it PG and we'll call it good. But we certainly do appreciate the participation in the stream chat. So if you want to pop in, feel free to do so. See the leaders going around this racetrack as low as possible. Now, really, the reason for that, again, we're back to fuel strategy. Let's listen again here with Brian Rose, see if he's saving fuel again. Turn up the volume. Truck's not running. Or if he is, it's at idle. You see the tack there on the left-hand side. It's about 500 RPM. He is at idle. Pulls the clutch back out, back up into the range there, about 2,800 RPM, back off the clutch, or back into the clutch again. Just letting that truck idle and coast. Trying to save fuel under the yellow flag. We have seen guys in the past, I'm one of them, I would go so far as to even kill the truck, turn it completely off. You know, clutch the truck like Brian Rose is doing, kill the truck, let it idle down to 0, then click the ignition switch back on, and then wait until I'm ready to go with it. And you pop the clutch back out, truck fires on its own because it's still in gear. You save a little bit more fuel in doing so, but everyone has their own strategy. Again, Brian Rose all the way down on the flat, on the apron of the racetrack, shortcutting this track the best that he can, again, to not use fuel. He's trying to stretch this thing out. With this caution flag, it's going to be a nail-biter here to see if these guys can make it all the way to the finish without another stop for fuel. Kevin Blue, I hope everybody wins. No, you don't. Let's not lie, Kevin. You got a favorite out there. Let's hear it. Come on. At the stripe, pace car lights go off. They are officially on the 1 to go. Chris Cohn says, "That's me, kill the truck." Before we go back to the green flag, we're going to step aside really quick. Don't worry, you won't miss the restart. Going to get a word here from Garza Law. We'll be back after this.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Field working the back straightaway here, still under the caution flag. Pace car getting ready to send these guys back under green flag conditions. Still got to get through turns 3 and 4 here. Again, a lot of fuel save going on out front. Be curious to see who, if anyone, can make it all the way to the end on this tank of fuel. 63 laps in. About 31 to go when we get to the stripe. That's about a full fuel run right there. I know these guys pit last at lap 56. They're going to have to save a ton of fuel, and doing it under the green flag here is going to be almost impossible if you're going to maintain track position. They really, really do need another caution if they're going to try and stretch this fuel all the way to the end. We'll see how it pans out. Pace car peels off the racetrack, and then we wait to go through this long tri-oval here at the front of the raceway. Green flag, again, the starter stand just past the tri-oval. Not traditionally in the same spot you'd see at Daytona. Daytona is the center, right about here.
Green flag.
Green flag waves are back underway. Good start for Zach Millett. Gets the jump on Brian Rose. Kevin Blue's cheering on his boy Chris Goins. There you go, Kevin. That wasn't so hard. Kevin Blue picking the nice guy, Chris Goins. Always nice to see the 6 take home a checkered flag. Out there racing with some respect. Always got some pace. Sometimes the respect, though, it can kind of bite you, especially in places like this. You got to force your way. You see Bobby Hall Jr. going to the outside of Zach Millett. Going to put Millett down the middle. The 3 of Hayes might tuck in behind and give him some assistance. In fact, he does. Hall and Worthington up on the top side with no help, just each other. They had the run for a moment, but the help in behind went away quickly. Third lane up top, just not forming up as they had hoped it would. Bobby Hall Jr. and Dan Worthington, that is, they have slipped back to about the 12th and 13th positions. Looked like they were going for the top spot just a lap ago, but you see how quickly, without the drafting help, you can drop back, kind of free fall to the mid or further of the field. Brian Rose out in front now. He's got Joe Tucker to the back bumper once again. That's who he spun off the nose of earlier. Got an ill-timed push out of the 13 truck. Again, not expected, not something you think was intentional. It's just, unfortunately, at speed here at Talladega Super Speedway, these bumpers line up in just a way, and if you get them off center, left, or right, especially to the left, very easy to spin the truck out in front. Tucker still close to the 89 into turn 3, goes to the high side. Almost seems like Tucker taking extra care to not get to the left side of the 89 truck. Doesn't want a repeat of earlier. Again, it's going to get more and more difficult as this race goes on. Pressure mounts. Got to push a little bit harder for those positions. Eddie Rose cheering on his son Brian at the front of the field, hoping for a win here at Talladega Super Speedway. Still plenty of racing to go. Out front, though, it is the 89 Track Bar Media F-150 of Brian Rose, pushed by the 13 truck of Joe Tucker with Mission 22 aboard. Outside lane, it's HBR teammate Zach Millett, and he gets contact from Joe Tucker. Gets to the left rear, crosses him up, and Zach Millett now in the wall, along with many others. Multi-truck wreck, again triggered by the 13, sliding up into the 315. Big trouble here at lap 67, 66 that is. Let's take a look, see what happened. I'm going to back it up here a little bit, get a better view on it. Millett, the top lane, the leading truck in the top lane. You got the 13 of Joe Tucker. He's going to slide up out of the groove a little bit. He's going to make contact with the left rear of Millett. Millett saves it, but then gets overcorrected across the 3 truck. Ken Couch as well. Multiple drivers going to get involved in this one. Looks like Jesse Redding possibly as well. Worthington, does he screw through there? Yes, he does. Cody Anderson drops to the bottom. Drew Blaze is going to get a piece of this. Chris Goins has got a piece. One truck on his roof. That looks like the 26 going for a ride. Brian Rose did get a piece of that. Looks like the 315 truck got to the right side of Brian Rose. No fast repair left for him, I don't believe. No, he's going to try and get some legitimate repairs made here to that machine. 26 laps to go. Still some time to do it here. Sean Roberts, though, has taken over the top spot through this pit cycle under the caution. Joe Tucker also down and away. Fuel only for the 13 truck. We're going to step aside once again. Probably going to get our final break out of the way here unless we get another caution. But if we come back to green and we stay green to the end, we're going to stay with it all the way, interruption-free to the checkered flag. So stay with us, folks. We'll be back after this.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Riding on board with the 13 of Tucker as they go down the back straightaway into turn number 3. You see exactly what happens here on corner entry between himself and Zach Millett, and then so many others getting involved in this big wreck. Rose slides up about 2-3 feet. Then so does Tucker. I gotta wonder if, because you see him check up there a little too late, unfortunately. If Tucker getting to the inside of Rose earlier on in the event kind of made him a little more wary of doing so again. So it seemed like he was willing to let the truck slide up to avoid doing that and didn't want to turn the 89. And unfortunately, I think it bit him in trying to be careful, and it ended up getting him into the 315 of Zach Millett, triggering that crash here at lap 66, I believe it was, when the caution flag came out. New leader at the front of the field, it's the 66 of Sean Roberts. Pace car lights are off. We're going to go back to the green flag this time by. It'll be 24 laps to go when we get the green flag. Is outside, it's the 57 of Kevin Grettenberger, then the 911 of Bill Mulfeld, PJ Cox, and Matt Daniels round out your top 5. Barney with the flag in hand. Green flag waves. Back underway from Talladega Super Speedway. Kevin Blue. New pick, Mike Fahey. Yeah, tough break there for the 6. Scones getting involved in that one. Mike Fahey, a solid pick. Sean Roberts in front of this field. Bill Mulfeld is second. Matt Daniels, Grettenberger, Brian Rose, the top 5. Brian Rose just will not go away. Hanging tough there in the top 5 after being wrecked early on. Some damage after this last caution as well. Got some of it fixed. Still contending here at the Speedway. Daniels drops below the yellow line for a moment into the corner. Corrects that issue readily. Curious thing to see, though, is Brian Rose here still up in the top 5, but no real drafting help to speak of. Yes, he's got the 113 of Worthington in behind him, and then Bobby Hall Jr. Those two are teammates. They're likely going to work together, but really, who does Brian Rose have left at this point in the race? No drafting help that he can certainly rely on. Zach Millett is a couple of trucks back. I know he had a faster pair that he likely used just now, so he may come into play. Millett to the outside, though, far, far away from the 89. Millett trying to side draft just a bit, trying to get his way back towards the front. Has a good run with some help from the 19 of Mike Fahey. Fahey not quite right there, not pushing the 315. Kevin Blue says if he had made the race, he was 100% going to win. Well, where are you, Kevin? Come on. We miss you, buddy. Gotta get that 54 truck back out here. Meanwhile, Bill Mulfeld puts the Garza Law machine at the point. Sean Roberts slips back to P2. Matt Daniels, P3. Fourth is Brian Rose. Fifth is the 57 of Grettenberger. Sixth is Millett. Seventh, Mike Fahey, PJ Cox, Dan Worthington, Joe Tucker. That's the top 10. "21 laps to go here from Talladega. Worthington down below the yellow line there for a moment. Don't know if he's just trying to get some air on the nose of that engine to keep it nice and cool. He was tucked up underneath the 911 of Mulfeld. Wanted to call him Garza, but that's just the sponsor. Sean Roberts down low, looks to the inside again, trying to get some fresh air into the radiator. Matt Daniels up top in the high side. He's the lead truck in that pack. Brian Rose to his tailgate as they get through the tri-oval, cross the stripe. 20 laps to go. Brian Rose and Zach Millett have hooked up once again. Slow truck Chris Goins there down at the bottom, not giving it up, not throwing in the towel. There's still plenty of racing left. Likely an opportunity at a win is gone for the 6 of Goins, but still positions could be picked up. Again, we got another crash coming. Who knows? Every point matters here as we get into the mid portions of the season, and then later on, Goins out there not throwing in the towel. Bill Mulfeld still at the front of this field. Sean Roberts all over the back of that 911 machine. Field works its way into turns 3 and 4 once again. Mulfeld still with the top spot. Roberts, Daniels, Grettenberger, Rose the top 5. Seems that bottom side is a little more organized. We talked about that early on. Trucks, as far as numbers are concerned, pretty equal from top to bottom. But you see the outside line, there's really only 5 trucks lined up and organized. The 3 that are tailing behind, not really closing in to that front group. Not sure if it's some nervousness there, some apprehension, or if it's by design, but nonetheless, it's really allowing that bottom lane to pull ahead. Top side becoming much more difficult to make the runs. If anything, 5 of Daniels may get a run here into 3. If it's a good enough one, he can drop down in front of the 911 truck. Not quite enough. In the middle of 3 and 4. Slow truck down low. I think that is Britt Osborne, possibly. Maybe Michael Cole. That's Michael Cole. Slow truck down low. The white and green entry. Not going to play a factor there. He gets into the groove after the main pack gets its way by. But here we see again, we just talked about that run. The 5 of Daniels to the front of the field. Can he cross down in front of the 911? Not quite enough space. Not just yet. Still time to do it. Daniels, Rose, and Millett. Mike Fahey behind Millett. Also, that line's starting to form up a little bit, but now there's 4 trucks at the end of the outside lane. Not quite tucked up. Again, it all makes a difference. The more trucks you can get in a single file line, the better that draft is going to be for all involved. Nice and tight. Stick to the same line. Cody Anderson about a half truck between himself and the truck in front of him. If he closes that in a little bit, everybody's going to tighten up, and that outside line could perform a little bit better than down low. It's just not happening just yet. Less than 15 laps to go. Field works off turn number 4. Coming to 14 laps to go. Bill Mulfeld still out in front. 5 of Daniels to his outside, pushed by the 89 of Rose and Millett. Daniels thought about dropping down. Again, not enough room to clear. .14 laps to go from Talladega Super Speedway. The 911 of Bill Mulfeld still leads this race. Sean Roberts is second. Daniels, Grettenberger, and Rose. That's your top 5. Outside lane, it is Daniels, Rose, and Millett. Inside lane, it's Mulfeld, Roberts, Grettenberger. Right on board with Mike Fahey, the LSR racing driver, the number 19 out of Ilion, New York. In behind Zach Millett. 4th truck in that outside lane. Bill Martin slow there at the bottom. It almost caused some issues up front for the leaders. They get through clean. But it has allowed the 5 of Daniels to slip out in front across the nose of the 911. Matt Daniels, your new leader here, coming to 12 laps to go. There's no way we make it to this finish without another caution. Aggression level is up for everyone in this front pack. And we've got a ton of drivers all the way back to 16th position in this lead pack, all with an opportunity to win. And the 911 of Mulfeld goes to the bottom, almost crosses up. It's below the yellow line mid-corner. He got very lucky to get away with that. Field into turn one. Brian Rose nose is out in front with a push from Zach Millett and Mike Fahey, unable to make a move with it. Daniels maintains the top spot off turn number 2. Down the backstretch, we'll see if the high side can reorganize, push their way back to the front. Let's kind of shuffle into the lead position here. If Millett can push the 89 to the top spot, then maybe it's his turn off the nose of Mike Fahey, and so on and so forth. And Daniels goes to the bottom, maybe off the nose of Mulfeld. It's going to open the door here for Brian Rose, or is it? Drafting help coming for the rest, but Mulfeld's going to drop like a rock. Or is he? No, he gets picked up by Sean Roberts. Nicely done. How in the world did he save that truck, keep it out of trouble, and still manage to be in contention for the top spot with 10 laps to go? Bill Mulfeld, amazing piece of driving here late at Talladega. Caution on the speedway. Don't know what we've got going on here. Some slow trucks in behind. Ken Couch, possibly. Ken Couch, yes, in trouble. Let's get a look at it, see what happened to the 08 of Ken Couch. Gets cross into the 20. That's Seth Fordham. Hard impact into the safer barrier. Slides down the banking. Pretty cut and dry for that one. Caution on the speedway here. 9 laps to go. Brian Rose, your leader. Zach Millett, second. Bill Mulfeld, Mike Fahey, Sean Roberts, the top 5. Then Joe Tucker, Kevin Grettenberger, PJ Cox, Drew Blaze, Dan Worthington. That's the top 10. Then further down, Bobby Hall Jr., Cody Anderson, Matt Daniels, Justin Johnson, Matt Sisler, Ken Couch, who was involved in that incident on pit lane, and Raymond Bailey, the number 22 machine. That is the 17th position. Your lead lap trucks as of now. That could still change. But I'll tell you right now, with 9 coming to 8 laps to go, if you are a lead lap truck, you can win this race. It does not matter where you are in that running. As long as you're in that lead pack on the lead lap, you have a shot. Without a doubt, you have a chance to win this race. Anything can happen up front. The leaders could tangle. The whole top 5, top 10, top 12, top 15, it doesn't matter. They could be wadded up 100 yards from the finish line, and as long as you miss it, that checkered flag is yours. It doesn't always happen that way, but it can. We've seen it before. So with this caution, we did talk about if we get another one, we're going to take another break. We're going to do just that. This will be the last one, I promise, until post-race. Stay with us, folks, for a great, exciting finish. It's coming up next here from Talladega. Don't go anywhere.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Talladega Super Speedway, the Lone Star Racing Truck Series. Minnick in the middle, 94. Ryan Rose, Zach Millett, Mike Fahey, Bill Mulfeld, Sean Roberts, your top 5. Coming to 6 laps to go. Pace car lights are off, so we go back to the green flag the next time by. Maybe a 6-lap shootout to settle it, or do we get more cautions? Maybe green-white checkers? Who knows? Got to stay with us to find out for sure, because nobody knows. As far as the green-white checkered finish is concerned, big-time NASCAR uses up to 3. You can use as little as none, or as many as that, or unlimited. Lone Star Racing Truck Series opts to use up to 2, if need be. Hopefully we don't need any. We get a good solid finish here without it, but it is an opportunity. As long as we don't finish under the caution flag, I think everybody will be happy. Pace car about to enter pit lane. And looks like Bill Martin spinning, coming to the green flag. Not sure what that's all about. Green flag is waving. Martin's still trying to get back going again. Not sure what the issue with the 24 is. Bill Martin spinning, coming to green. Back in the throttle. Out front, though, off turn number 2, it's Brian Rose, Zach Millett, and the 911 of Bill Mulfeld. The outside lane, Mike Fahey coming into the frame as well with some help from Joe Tucker. The 05 of P.J. Cox, the Craftsman Tools machine. But looking at his outside, it's the 94 of Bobby Hall Jr. making a move as well. This is going to get really interesting here with coming to 5 laps to go. Who knows if we're going to make it or not, but we're going to find out. Brian Rose still out front. Millett second, not by much. Fahey now up to third. A big push from the 13 of Joe Tucker. He's coming to the front. P.J. Cox as well. Drew Blaze in the mix also. They're the number 1 truck. Big wiggle of Joe Tucker, off corner exit, gets to the bottom, doesn't make any contact. Still to the back bumper of Mike Fahey. $16 trucks still on the lead lap from Brian Rose to Raymond Bailey. Any one of those drivers has a shot at this with 4 coming to 4 laps to go. Brian Rose and O's out in front. Again, the middle lane now with Fahey and Tucker, P.J. Cox, Drew Blaze, Cody Anderson. The outside lane, only 3 trucks, not going to be organized enough to really do much to the outside. You got the 5. Matt Daniels, Bobby Hall Jr., Dan Worthington trying to make something happen up on the high side. Just not enough truck count to make it happen. Down low, you got 3, 4, 5. 5 trucks. The middle lane, about the same numbers. Slow truck way up top, and we got trouble. Joe Tucker involved. Multiple trucks. There it is. That's the big one. 4 laps to go. Many trucks involved. Cody Anderson, Matt Daniels, Joe Tucker, P.J. Cox, Matt Sisler, Sean Roberts, Mike Fahey also involved. This is going to set us up for our first green-white checkered of the afternoon. Let's get a look at it, see exactly. It's already in progress. We're going to back it way up here. Middle truck is Mike Fahey, the number 19. Joe Tucker in behind. Oh, it happened in the high side. Matt Daniels, a little bit of a push from Bobby Hall Jr., sends him down into the 13. Fahey's going to get a hard piece of the wall. Don't know what his fast repair situation looks like. The 20 is involved as well. Brian Rose and Millett, they both get away. So does Bill Mulfeld. Carnage here late in the running at Talladega Superspeedway. Roughneck says it just right in the YouTube chat. No mercy inside of 10 to go. That is for sure. Mike Fahey's going to rejoin this race. Truck looks pretty good. I think Fahey might have been lucky enough to save the fast repair until the very, very end. He is definitely not out of this, especially with the truck being in pretty good shape as it is. Drew Blaze, however, lots of damage to that one truck. Don't know if he's got a fast repair remaining. I would imagine he may have used it by now if that was the case. Not a very aerodynamic truck. It actually looks worse than the Chris Goins machine right now. I think the right side is the only part of that truck that does not have damage. Dan Worthington was involved there as well, I believe, but that truck looks very clean. Joe Tucker listed in the 8th position. Let's take a look at his truck, see what kind of damage, if any, it has. It definitely has some. Front end, right side for certain. Left front, left side. All 4 corners tore up on the 13 Lonestar Racing machine. He was in a great position, definitely had an opportunity to win. And honestly, he's still a lead lap truck. He's not out of this. He's still top 10. With a green-white checkered, he's certainly not going to lose a lap in that amount of time, but anything could happen out front. He still has a shot at this. Matt Sisler, no fast repair for him. He's got damage he's going to have to contend with. 4th place, Ray Bailey, also damage on that machine. 3rd place, Bill Mulfeld. Is he clean or not? Looks like maybe some right side, right front damage. Just a little bit on the right side. Nothing significant, but certainly not going to be good out in front. Zach Millett machine looks pretty clean after his incident. Brian Rosehover, some right side damage on that Track Bar Media F-150. The key to both of these drivers is going to be to line back up single file with each other. If they get kind of tossed out, then again, it is the last couple laps of the race. Green-white checkered finish about ready to happen. Maybe they don't work together. Maybe it's like, all right, I helped y'all race long. Now it's our turn to battle this out and see what we can do. Really, the 2 cleanest trucks at the front of the field. We'll see if they can get it all the way to the checkers without wadding them up. Draft certainly going to help a lot of these trucks further back in the pack that have some damage to be able to stay with the leaders, at least for a couple of laps. And don't forget, we do have another opportunity. If we need the green-white checker again, we got 1 left after this, if we need it. Got a bunch of you guys in the Facebook side and a whole bunch more on the YouTube side. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Really do appreciate it. Thank you guys all for jumping into the stream chat and saying hello. Makes things a little more loose and casual. I do appreciate that, especially if you guys got something to say that maybe I missed, or a question that I can find out the answer to, or again, just who you're cheering on tonight, where you're watching from. take this opportunity to remind everybody, if you're watching and you're not already subscribed or liking or following, whatever it is you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please do so. Makes a big difference. Likes and shares are very, very helpful for the stream, for the series, really, and HBR TV as well. Puts a lot more eyeballs on what we're trying to do here at HBR TV. So make sure you do that. Like, follow, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications, all the good stuff. That way you don't miss a minute of the action. Speaking of action, going to get right back to it here. Pace car is off. Field down into the tri-oval, waiting for the Geico restart zone. See Geico painted on the wall. They can go at any point there.
Green flag.
Green flag waves. They're underway. Ooh, spinning of the tires. Zach Millett. If he's smart, he's going to tuck in behind. You got Bill Molfeld there. They're out to a pretty big lead there, but luckily for them, not a whole lot of packing up in behind. They're going to need to tandem this all the way to the finish if they're going to have a shot at it. Bill Molfeld there in third with Matt Sisler, Matt Daniels. Some fast trucks there in behind, and they're grouped up there on the bottom. 5 trucks in a row down the back straightaway. They're going to have some serious energy to do something with. Maybe not, though. Sisler pulls out to pass with no help. Other way around, no, it's Daniels pulling out to pass with no help. He's to the outside. That's going to slow down that trio of trucks. That's good news for the 2 out in front. Off turn number 4. If we stay clean all the way to the white, this will be the final lap. Trucks working through the tri-oval. Possibly one more time around. White flag waves. Last lap from Talladega. Brian Rose, Zach Millett, Matt Daniels, Bill Molfeld, Matt Sisler, the top 5, but for how long? Dan Worthington tried to make a move to the outside on Mike Fahey. Again, Fahey, I got a clean truck there. He's a shot to win this thing for sure, even though he's 4th, 5th here with 1 lap to go down the back straightaway. He's got to run to the back of the 5 of Matt Daniels. He's up to P3, P4. Brian Rose out in front. Daniels getting pushed from the 19. They battle into turn number 3 for the final time. Rose out in front. Better run into the corner for the low lane. A little bit more truck count to the bottom. More organized, more momentum. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. They look off turn number 4. Checkered flag in hand. Barney's got to wave it. Who's going to win it? Brian Rose. Contact with Zach Millett. Brian Rose is going to win this. Zach Millett's going to finish 2nd. Hard to tell. Maybe Mike Fahey was P3, and they're wrecking at the finish. Have you ever? Every race at Talladega. Well, LSR admins should be proud of this one. This was a good one to watch. Great one to call. Zach Millett's going to wreck himself into 3. Oh, he stayed off the wall.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marco Scarza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marco Scarza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Talladega Super Speedway, the Lonestar Racing Truck Series. Minnick in the middle, 94. Your winner, Brian Rose. Second place, Zach Millett. Matt Daniels was P3. Let's try and go down and get a word with our race winner, Brian Rose. Pull him up into the broadcast booth. Brian, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
Yeah, I'm here, Steve.
Brian Rose, congratulations on the victory here at Talladega. You had a strong truck all night long, some adversity to overcome, some contact with yourself and Joe Tucker, which again looked very inadvertent. He just got to the tailgate of that truck at the wrong moment. Tell us about it from your perspective and then the balance of the race to the checkered flag.
Hey, that right there, all I could do is when he was pushing me and I was trying, he was always catching me into three. So I was moving up a little higher because he was pushing me to the apron. It wasn't his fault. That's just where you got it. It was time to go at that point. And then he just kind of surprised me there in turn one and got to my bumper, got me a little out of shape, got me sideways, and I just geared it down to second gear and gunned it and was able to keep it off the wall. And luckily everybody was able to avoid me.
Well, either way, a checkered flag at the end of the race, that's always a good way to wrap things up. You managed to battle your way back. Again, 2 sets of tires tonight. Curious to see if it really made that much of a difference. We had some guys that took fuel a bunch of different times. Did the handling really come into play at this place, or did it just kind of give you that extra confidence to go for it?
No, not really. It was typical Dega and tire wear. I mean, coming down pit road, I only changed tires one time, and that was when I got sent to the back. Tires really wasn't an issue. It was just that comfort factor. It was a fuel mileage race, though. Big time lots of fuel calculations going on throughout the race. But, man, I've just got to say a big thank you to Zach. That's a team win. At Talladega, you got to have friends, and I definitely brought one of the fastest friends that I got. And we was able to be out front tonight and get it done. I wish Vince could have been up here with us, but put his track bar media machine up here. But, thank you to Zach and at that 315 guy, HBR TV, all of Holler Boys Racing team. Got our stream up. It was my first stream tonight on HBR TV or on HBR, the team page. First stream and first win in Lone Star. So it's a pretty good night.
Well, Brian, congratulations. I'd give you this opportunity to thank more people if you haven't already. Is there anybody else that you need to thank before we let you go, or you got them all covered?
Yeah, all these guys at Lone Star, we race with them on Tuesday nights in Scar, and every one of them that transfer over there, they're all real respectable, good, clean racers. It showed tonight. Talladega, you're going to have a handful of mix-ups, but good, clean race. I enjoyed it, and on to the next one.
Brian Rose, congratulations on the victory here at Talladega. Good luck going to next week. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Steve.
It's Brian Rose, your race winner here from Talladega. Next, we're going to go to Zach Millett, runner-up here at Dega. Eventually. Zach Millett, Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Steve, what's up, buddy?
Going to turn you up here just a bit. Congratulations on a runner-up finish. Brian Rose called it a team win for you guys. I know it's not a checkered flag for yourself, but you really need a friend out here at Talladega Superspeedway and really Daytona as well. You seem to be that friend for Brian Rose. Tell us about your afternoon.
Well, it definitely feels like a win. He's right on the money with the team win. It felt like we did exactly what we planned on all day, just kind of stick together. And it sucks that Vince was out early because, we could have definitely used him up there, the three of us running together. Everything just worked out, stuck together, and yeah.
That's all you can really do. I mean, you both had your issues, ironically, both with Joe Tucker. It seemed that the first incident was, again, completely inadvertent. Both of them, really. He got to the left side of Brian Rose and around the 89 truck went, and then it seemed almost a little bit of nervousness. They didn't want to do it again, and he got up into your left side, and around you went. So some adversity for you to kind of battle your way back. Luckily, you had that fast repair to use. You did that. How was it trying to kind of knife your way back through the field after that?
It's funny because I mentioned it right on the stream as soon as the restart happened that, maybe this is the time to lay back, be smart, let some laps tick by and, play it smart. And 3 laps, I was trying to get up there as quick as possible.
Well, it's go time one way or another. You made it work. Race 3 in the LSR Truck Series is complete. Next week, we go to Vegas. What are your thoughts going into the Sin City out there?
I like the thought of it. I can't wait for it. I should be able to make it. I felt bad for missing the first 2. I'm hoping I can make the remainder of the season because these are great guys to race with. It's something to look forward to every week for sure.
Well, Zach, thanks for talking to us, man. Again, good luck next week in Las Vegas. Before we let you go, is there anybody else you need to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, Steve, and HBR TV for the broadcast, as always. I'd like to thank Track Bar Media. And shoot me a follow on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at that S4 guy.
Zach, good luck next week, man. Thanks for chatting.
Thanks, buddy.
Zach Millett, your runner-up here at the Speedway. We're not going to be able to get to Matt Daniels, unfortunately, but we do have some drivers that are willing to pop in and have a quick conversation, so we'll pull up. We've got a couple. I think it's Sean Roberts and Cody Anderson. And looks like we've even got Joe Tucker. Let's go to Joe Tucker first. Bring the driver of that number 13 truck into the broadcast booth. It looked so good at the beginning of the race, and we spent a lot of it out of the front. Joe, it's Steve in the booth. You got a copy?
What's going on, Steve?
Joe, man, what happened tonight? You were up front, kicking ass, taking names, and unfortunately, the truck a little worse for wear at the end of it. Tell us about your night.
I set out tonight to run up front, Steve. I spent a lot of time this season in a lot of races where I'm just trying to support people and trying to push people. And I went out to Dega knowing it was a strong track for me and just tried to hold her out front. I had the option to get out there many, many times, and I thought it was better if I pushed, Rose and Millett around because those dudes are fast. I didn't want them behind me. I wanted them racing with me. So it worked for the good majority of the race, and then right there at the end, things got hairy and just finished the race, but the truck didn't like it.
So let's go to that first incident with Brian Rose. You were pushing him with all you had. Again, neither myself or even Brian Rose thought it was an intentional act. You got to the back of the truck, and then everybody kind of got crossed up. And then ultimately, just as you're getting to the tailgate again, he's up a lane, you're down a lane, you catch him in the left rear, round he goes. So we saw it how it happened with that. But my question is, later on in the race, you find yourself behind Brian Rose once again, giving him great pushes. Did it get into your head at all? Because it almost seems like you were trying to really be sure to avoid the low side there, and you ended up getting up a lane and into the 315. Is that kind of how it went down, or am I way off?
No, I wasn't scared to push him. I knew he could hold the pushes. I knew what happened the first time. He had to check up because he got squirrely a little bit, and I completely understood it. And so when I got right back behind him, I was all for pushing him. The difference was we were on a lot older tires. I didn't take tires but once during the entire race, and that draft was pulling my truck this way, that way, and every way. So when he weebled just a little bit at the end of that corner, it just happened to be enough draft pressure to throw my truck high and catch Zach. And I felt terrible for it. I apologize to Zach for it because I didn't mean to weeble up into him, and it was nothing mental. It was just it was racing, man. I knew that draft was going to be dangerous, and we were trying to keep it close. And that's what I was telling them. We had 4 trucks in one lane for how many laps? I knew it was going to happen.
Quite a while for sure. Joe, good run here. Even though a damaged truck, you looked sharp at the front of the field there for a while. And again, a solid, I think a top 10 finish for you. Good luck going into Vegas.
Thank you.
Was Joe Tucker, driver of the number 13 truck. Now I think we're going to pull in Sean Roberts. He was in the Care Center. He is back from the Care Center. Sean Roberts, it's Steve Singer in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Steve.
Sean, walk us through your incidents. Again, the truck a little worse for wear here post-race, but you still brought it home under its own power. Walk us through your race, man.
Oh, I mean, it's Talladega. I mean, there's, some people try to carry a strategy. Mine was just try to stay up front. And, I caught Chris on that first caution, and that spawned that massive wreck. And then I got caught up in the next one. And I think I got caught up in 4 of the different cautions during the race. It was insane.
Well, it is Talladega after all. It's kind of what we've come to expect from these super speedways, especially in the closing laps. Things just get crazy, and that's exactly what happened. You finished, I think it was P17, so not a great finish. You only lost a few spots based on qualifying, but was there anything you could have done differently, maybe strategy-wise, kind of get you a better top 10 even finish for tonight?
No, I did everything I could, trying to drag myself from a lap down and just trying to get myself back to the front with a reasonably clean truck.
Well, Sean, at least good job battling back and sticking to it, not throwing in the towel, bringing the number 66 Shenandoah Shine machine to a 17th place finish. We're going to let you go here. Before we do, anybody else you want to thank?
Big shout out to the Shenandoah Shine guys and K Designs for hooking me up with this nice livery on my truck.
All right, Sean. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week at Vegas.
All right, Steve.
Sean Roberts, driver of the 66. Next, we're going to go to the one and only Cody Anderson. We'll bring him up into the broadcast booth. Cody, it's Steve. Do you got a copy?
Gotcha.
So I see you're here in the booth. Let's see. I don't have anything glaring that I want to point out as far as your race was concerned. I know you got caught up in the big one there late. Talk about your race. Talk about that incident.
For most of the race, it was pretty much just rolling around in the back. I really didn't want to be towards the middle in case that big one happened. And then once it happened there at the end, I got slowed up for it, and then everybody that was up high just started rolling down and ended up catching me and sent me back up the track, and I got caught by another truck coming through.
Well, ultimately, you finished tonight's race, I think, in the 21st position, if I have that correct.
I believe so.
You started 26th, so even though you had a rough night there at the end, still 5 spots better than where you started. Next week, we go to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You expect any better luck out there?
I'm hoping for some. It won't be the super speedway chaos.
Well, we kind of expected it. We talked about it with, I think it was Sean Roberts just a moment ago as well. Talladega Super Speedway, Daytona, same situation. We kind of expect chaos. You guys did a wonderful job from the front to the back, especially in the first half of the race, to avoid the chaos, not be too aggressive too early. You did a good job with it. And at the end, it's just racing. It's trying to get a win here at Talladega Super Speedway. I'd expect nothing less. Next week at Vegas, though, could be a little different. Certainly not going to be packed up the way they were here at Talladega. Any strategies going into Vegas next week?
It's really going to depend on how the race starts and see if I can maybe get off cycle and maybe lead some laps and hopefully pick up the win.
Well, either way, Cody, good luck next week. Hopefully a little better fare than this week here at Talladega Super Speedway. We're going to let you slide here. Before we do, is there anybody else that you want to thank?
I just want to say thanks to you for the broadcast and all the guys over at Lonestar.
All right, Cody. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
It's Cody Anderson, 21st place finisher here tonight. Wanted to pop in and get a quick word in. Rooms are always open for that sort of thing, so if you got a word to say, we'd love to hear from you. Pop into that green room. If you're listening to the chat, you got to be a member of the HBR TV Discord. I share it just about every week in the Lone Star Racing Discord so that you have access to it. You pop into the green room if you finish top 3. If you wreck out at some point during the race, jump into the Infield Care Center channel. We'll try and bring you up into the booth mid-race and find out exactly what it looked like from your perspective. It certainly adds to the broadcast, and we'd love to hear from you. Unfortunate, we did not get a chance to talk to Matt Daniels tonight. Unable to get into the chat. No worries. It happens. You're not the first. You won't be the last. And if you want to chat next week before the race, once we get in here, let us know. We'll try and make sure we get that interview with Matt Daniels, our third-place finisher here from Talladega Super Speedway. Let's take a look at the race results. Official race results, pending any penalties. I don't expect any. Brian Rose was your race winner. Zach Millett was second. Matt Daniels, we talked about, P3. Dan Worthington, still a solid top 4. Matt Sisler, battling all night long, finishes P5. Ray Bailey, the 22, great finish for him. He finishes P6. Thomas Hall, 7th. Joe Tucker was 8th. Drew Blaze was 9th. Kevin Grettenberger was 10th. Bobby Hall Jr., 11th. Michael Fahey finishes out in the 12th position. 13th went to Bill Mulfeld. Bill had a great run going, led some laps. Not quite a top 10, and I'm sure he got caught up, I think, in another wreck as he was laps down at the finish. Jonathan Arn was 14th. Michael Cole, 15th. 16th position was Jeffrey Simpson. Sean Roberts, we spoke with, 17th finishing position. 18th went to Bill Martin. Ken Couch was 19th. Chris Goins started P1, just did not end well. I know a lot of guys try to say, well, I'm going to ride around back so I don't get caught up in the riffraff, or, if I start up front, I'm going to stay up front, because you don't get wrecked there. Well, it still happened to Chris Goins, unfortunately for the 6th, a 20th place finish, 5 laps down. Cody Anderson, 21st, 5 laps down. PJ Cox, 22nd. Justin Johnson, 23rd, 6 laps down. Seth Fordham, 24th, 12 laps down. Matt Minnick, 25th, 15 laps down. Kevin Hayes in the 3 truck, thought we were going to see a good night out of him, but just didn't pan out. 30 laps down in 26th spot. Jesse Redding also 30 down, 27th. Lloyd Ryder 30 laps down, 28th. Britt Osborne, the 421, he was 29th, 37 laps down. Chad Martin 30th, 39 laps down, 42 laps down. Vincent Short started outside front row. Not a good night for the front row starting trucks. Vincent Short getting credit for last place, 42 laps down here at Talladega Super Speedway. It's going to do it for us here at HBR TV from Talladega Super Speedway. We certainly congratulate Brian Rose for winning the Minnick in the Middle 94. Again, we mentioned it earlier for those of you in the stream chats. Chats or otherwise, if you're just watching, this is your first race, go ahead, like, follow, share, subscribe. Do it on both platforms, Facebook and YouTube, because we do go dual stream each week to both platforms. Turn on the notifications that way in case you intend to watch the race. You don't miss it, because you'll get that notification when we go live. We don't post a ton on the Facebook page, so we're not going to blow your phone up. Occasionally, I'll throw something on there that's not necessarily a stream-related post. We always do post-race posts. Wow, there's a lot of posts in there of our race winners, some photos, some fun things from the event itself, but really throughout the week, not a whole lot going on other than broadcasts. Again, tonight we had the LSR Truck Series. That's going to be every Thursday. Tune in for that. About 7:55 p.m. in the East every week. You'll see the LSR trucks. Mondays, we've got the LSR Sports Car Series making a return next week. Then Tuesday, the Superior Class Auto Racing. That playoff system starting to come into full high gear. So that's Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Wednesdays, back to the old fart sim racing, the next gen, the Concrete Floors Next Gen Cup Series. We had Pit Stop TV doing a fantastic job covering for us while I was out of town last night. It's going to be back on the mothership, I guess you could say, at HBR TV, almost a partnership we've got going on here with Pit Stop and others. Andrew's been just flawless helping us out, and he really does a fantastic job. But he's covering on Sunday nights the Superior Class Auto Racing SCAR, the Radical Series on Sunday nights. We've got 2 more races remaining this coming Sunday, and then I believe the following week is the season finale. He has jumped on to cover the last couple races for that as well. So that's pretty much our race schedule, our broadcast schedule. I believe we do have 1 or 2 Saturdays remaining for the Numb Thumbs ARCA Series. Stay tuned. There may be more in that department going forward. We shall see. If not, no worries, but it's been a blast covering them on Saturdays as well. With that, I'm out of here. Congratulations, Brian Rose, on the victory. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV saying thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.